Hey, my name is Adam. I'm one of the co-founders of System Era. I'm also responsible for a lot of the art for the environments, the Astroneer himself, and also just to make sure that the game is in a good direction and going in the right spot.
So Shackers, we all know we've been dying to see this game. I just got a chance to play it. Adam, how long have you been working on this? How long have you been thinking about it?
I can answer those with the same answer. It's been about 2 years. 2 years about part-time, just in my spare time while I was still working with Ubisoft. Back in January of this year, I left to work on the Astroneer full-time. We've had Jacob on the project for about 18 months now, full-time as well. And then Paul and Brendan have been working on it full-time since October 2015.
And I think one of the coolest features about this game is that it's procedurally generated levels. Can you talk about the algorithm that you guys have kind of created and like how you think it differentiates itself from some of the other games that we're seeing come out this year?
So I don't know too much about the programming side of it. That would be a better question for Jacob. But what I can tell you is that we use a voxel-based system for the planets. So all the planets are completely voxel-based, and then what we do is on the fly we wrap a mesh around that, and then we decimate that mesh. So there's quadrants that are happening as you're walking around. Let's say it's about 100 square meters around the player. Just 100 meter radius around the player, and that quadrant loads in at the maximum level of detail that we can. And then as you walk, that sort of is being decimated as you go through. So think about the voxels that you see in Minecraft with the cubes. Instead of that, we take the cubes out, we wrap a mesh around that information, and then as you're deforming it, as you're adding terrain or subtracting terrain, we're just taking those voxels out, we're remeshing it on the fly, and then that's how we get the look that we have in the game.
Can you talk about the challenge of being an independent developer, versus you had a nice job at Ubisoft where you didn't really have to worry about budgets as much? Can you talk about the risk that you're taking, your whole team is taking, and how it feels to kind of be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, the biggest risk is making sure I get up early enough to work on the game before my family gets back. But no, honestly, the risks are, making sure that we're making the smartest decisions that we can for how do we release the game, when does it come out, who are we talking to about it, obviously guys like Shacknews. Making sure that people are in love with the idea, like we're in love with the idea, which it seems to be resonating really well with a lot of people. And yeah, it's just making sure that we're making the best decisions that we can for the kind of company we want to build, the kind of messaging we want to say about the game. We're learning a lot from games that people may consider our competition to see how they talk about their games and what they do with it. And yeah, there's been a lot of risk there, but we think we're doing a really good job. We're never hasty with stuff. We talk about it quite a bit. We make sure that we're absolutely happy with where we're going to go with it. And that's where most of our stresses come from, is just make sure that all four of us are really happy with the decisions that we have, and then that we execute them, and that we do that as best as we can. And so far, we've done a good job.
It's kind of funny. I feel like there's a trend in gaming right now going back towards space games, where it was shooter. A lot of the really cool stuff coming out is in space, and I think it's kind of driven by the real world, where we're exploring Mars for the first time and stuff.
Yeah, so I think certainly space and space exploration is in that zeitgeist, right? Like a lot of people are talking about it. I think guys like Chris Hadfield, when he was on the ISS, he did a really good job of exposing people to space and space exploration so that it was accessible. And for us, we just wanted to sort of be a part of that fantasy and really sort of make space exploration an accessible topic to people. And that's why with Astroneer, we're not so worried about the quote-unquote science of it. Like, it's just like, is it accessible? Is it fulfilling the fantasy? And can we take liberties with, is it coming from real life or is it coming from fantasy? And so we're making sure that Astroneer is the best version of that, the best accessible version of that fantasy.
And I know you're a Shacker, and Shackers love to have Shack battles. So let's talk multiplayer. When am I going to get to play some multiplayer? What are you guys planning on supporting? How many players? Do you have anything to announce about that?
So multiplayer for Astroneer will be there right from day one. It'll be up to 4-player co-op. Local or dedicated servers, we're still trying to figure that out. But we certainly see, in the future being something where it's expansive, where servers are entire solar systems, and you're playing with friends or strangers, sort of I guess like the DayZ model of that sort of system. A bunch of Shackers can get on a server together and play that way, and either work together, grief each other if they want to do that. We already have these ideas that have been talking with some of the Shackers about like rover races on the planets and setting up little courses for those. But yeah, we'll have multiplayer out of the box.
I just know our community was huge into Minecraft and did some really collaborative things there, and I think we could probably do the same thing in Astroneer.
Yeah, I think so too, especially with our deformation that we have there. And that's deformation, just like multiplayer, is one of the things that we're going to start small, and we're just going to build the features there. Right now you can add terrain, you can subtract terrain. for the dev tools that we can even change like the colors that you're putting in the world that we're really interested in exploring. Probably at launch we'll have a smooth and flattened tool so you can build like really nice boxy shapes. But yeah, it's just like everything else that we ship with early access. It'll start off as the idea, and then we'll grow that way, and we'll just expand it based on the feedback that we get from the community.
It's funny. I was going to ask you a question about mod support, but it seems like you guys are going to be so involved in the development that you might just ask the community and do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a lot of ways. We want to do mod support. We don't know when to do it. Like, does it make sense to do it right at launch? Do we want to have maybe 6 months on the cooker before we send it out there? Do we want to do something like what Arc does with like a full dev kit that people can get right into Unreal Engine with? We definitely want to support mods. Again, there's only 4 of us, so the more help we get building the game, the better. But we don't know where we're going to land on that just yet.
Yeah, it's definitely early. So when are you guys coming into early access?
That's a good question. End of summer, early fall. We don't quite know the date. We just know it's going to be around sort of August, September area, somewhere around there.
And let's talk some other platforms. I know that this game could run on, I think, all the new gen consoles right now. You guys talked about it, or what are the plans for that?
Well, right away we're going to go Steam Early Access, Windows and Mac. And then we can see ourselves, obviously when we're out of early access, going to the other consoles as well. The game works really well with the controller right now, which is good news. But we're really focused on that early access model because we want to build, there's only 4 of us, so we need to build it with other people to get the community involved. And unfortunately right now the other consoles don't really have a platform for that so much. So we'll go early access, we'll get the game looking great, and then we'll go to the other consoles after that.
So Mac users will be able to participate in early access?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome, because I've heard some other companies have problems supporting Macintosh computers.
Both of our programmers are Mac users at heart, so I will be shocked if we do not have Mac support right out of the gate.
That sounds fantastic, and we just want you to continue to do it for Shacknews. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.